Hi, I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading, and today we're taking a look at a pair of Boutet Flintlock dueling pistols. These pistols are cased, and in this case you'll find everything you need to have a good old-fashioned flintlock duel. Boutet lived from 1761 to 1833, and this set looks like they did when they left his shop in Paris between 1818 and 1833. This pair demonstrates Boutet's immense talents as a gunmaker, designing firearms that were high-quality weapons and works of art. He came to prominence shortly before the French Revolution when he became gunmaker-in-ordinary to King Louis XVI in 1788. During the Revolution, he was appointed to directeur-artiste of the arms factory of Versailles in 1792. Under Napoleon, Boutet was the head director at Versailles and was given an 18-year concession by the First Consul. The markings on the breech plugs of these pistols are listed by Dean Taylor as used by Boutet in 1815 to 1831.
I think just about everything about these pistols screams French when you look at them. It's beautiful design, but I think it approaches right on the over the top that we often see in these beautiful French works of art that are built onto muzzleloaders. Here on the top barrel flat, we can see a beautiful inlaid gold arrow pointed to the number 103. The gold bands at the muzzle aren't simply gold bands. You almost have this arching pattern that you immediately sparks images of royal crowns. And we think about Boutet being an arms maker for the French royalty. These pistols are very representative of that time period. I think the engraving on these pieces is to be noted as well. Whereas a lot of other engraving we see from this time period, you can see simple scrolls and things. The shading on this engraving really makes it stand out. It's very volumetric, it's very defined, and it's very beautiful. All of the hardware on both of these pistols is at a high polish, and the engraving and the shading included in that provides a nice contrast to that bright white metal finish. Similar to the Springer target pistols that we've looked at here earlier, the side plate here evokes these winged shapes on either side, kind of a flowing design element as we go from the grip of the pistol up towards the muzzle. And we see that here at the front lock bolt as well. The gold inlay of Boutet's name and his location at Versailles here on both sides is bold, it's brash, it's beautiful. On either side of his name, we have these beautiful floral patterns and almost grass-like shapes flowing off. The swamp Damascus barrels really catch your attention as well. You have a really high contrast in these areas of real dark metal, and you have the splash of the white, almost silver in color pattern flowing through. It's not as dramatic as some of the etched Damascus that we see in these barrels. It's a much more natural pattern, but it really balances well with the rest of the pistol. Really smooth lock on this number one here, really smooth trigger. I mean, everything about this inside and out is just done to the nines. It's a beautiful piece. Your rear sight, we can see here, is just wedged between the barrel and the breech here. Just real nice shape as we come around the rear sight. And you have this flute on the top barrel flat going all the way back to this sight, allowing that rear sight to be dropped really almost into the barrel. And again, here at the front sight, like we see on a lot of these original muzzleloaders here this week, really barely visible front sight. There's really not much to go on there, kind of adding to the visual intrigue of these. But if you're dueling somebody with this pair, perhaps you don't need a great sight picture. If you can line it up on your foe, you can take the shot and hope that you get it out before the other guy does. The rifling on these pistols is fascinating as well. We have that micro groove rifling here, and it is so small, it almost looks like it has been engraved into the barrel. It's just, when they say micro groove, they really mean micro grooved here. It is maybe a 32nd or a 64th of an inch deep here. And there is a lot of that rifling going around the inside of the barrel here. The pommel of the pistol is relief carved with a very natural leaf pattern. And this matches up with some of the other leaf patterns that we see around the hardware of the pistol, kind of matching here what we see on the lock plate and the cock, as well as at the tang of the barrel here. It's very cohesive all the way around, and depending on what style that you go for, maybe this is a little over the top for you, but I think it's very respectable in how over the top it is and how well done it is. It's just another piece of beautiful muzzleloading art that we see from this time period. The walnut stock has a slight figure to it, but not too much to detract from the overall design of the pistol. I think really the gold, in contrast to the Damascus barrels, it really draws your eye, and the plain walnut stock with its relief carving and checkering in the grip allows your eye to really travel around the pistol. As neat as the pistols are, I think the tools that come with it are as fascinating as well. When it comes to muzzleloading, it's really the muzzleloader itself is the entry point, I think, to all of the other neat tools and gear and gadgets that come along with it. Here we have the ball mold for these pistols, incorporating several other tools. We have a little crimper here at the top. We have a wrench at the base of the handle. And going with the design elements in the pistols themselves, our bolts here on both sides of our mold here are engraved with a little bit of floral design here, giving a little panache, a little style to this otherwise plain ball mold. And when you look at the pistols, you see here, you can get a bag mold, very plain, very utilitarian, but the work that has gone into this mold itself really sets it apart and adds it to the style of this set here. 2 ramrods are included in this set. The one is just very plain, just has a concave end here for loading. But on this one, we have an adjustable screw here, giving us a flat tip out of the base of this ramrod as needed for loading. Very cute little powder flask here with the set, brass and leather here. I don't think any area of this set was designed without thinking about how it could be beautiful. We can see here our vent pick even has just this simple but elegant design elements here, making it more than a vent pick. It fits in with the entire set. We have a small ball puller here, again with design elements. It's not just a simple brass ball puller. We have a ring so that we index with the rifling and we can center onto the ball, but it has been turned or filed here, set up to attach to one of our ramrod ends. And that being said, we have a special metal, really, range rod or tool rod here where we can attach that ball puller and use it separate from our wooden ramrods here. Just a really neat, complete set here. You find several of these through time and around, but it's always neat to see one of these up close in person and see the entire set as one piece. Inside one pocket here, we can pull out the key to the case with matching design elements to the rest of it. Now, these design elements aren't odd or out of place for something of this time period or location or the quality of maker. I just note them because it's great to see cohesiveness across the design of this set. Overall, this is a really neat piece of history, of muzzleloading history, and of art history, and of French history when we consider where Boutet was and who he was working for. I'm very fortunate Rock Island Auction Company is allowing me to take a look at these up close and personal. I really can't thank them enough for sharing these fantastic muzzleloaders with me. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of these pistols and other muzzleloaders in particular, visit the Rock Island Auction Company on their social media pages. They're posting a ton of beautiful photos of these original pieces that you don't want to miss out on. Once again, I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to learn more about these and any other muzzleloaders out there, please visit ilovemuzzleloading.com. Thanks for watching.